Welcome to Trading Lounge and the US indices. We'll look at the S&P, the Nasdaq and the DJ, and on the daily chart here they're all pretty much same. In fact, same all around the world really, through Asia and the UK. So here we're looking at intermediate wave 3, and then we're looking for wave A, wave B, and wave C in 5 waves for wave 4, and then up for wave 5 of, this is intermediate wave 5 of primary wave 5, and will also be the top of cycle degree 5 as well. So this is a serious top up here, up at the 3,000 mark. We'll just call it a top there for the time being. Now, so from wave B down to wave C, we've certainly started that journey down here now. And the sort of confirming news on this too is that we have 5 waves in this first little leg here, so that means that after a correction we'll get another 5 down. This one should move quite quickly through here, so this is definitely the one to trade. So don't feel like you've missed out on anything if you've haven't been trigger happy. So yeah, let's just go into the 4-hour chart and talk about a few other, whoops a daisy, wrong chart, 4 hour, 3 hour, 4 hour. So there's a couple of things here that we can chat about. Is that we need to look, if we take the low here roughly speaking and here, and we'll just put our little, the 50 and the 60% retracement level, that's really where we're going to have the support come in. And also to the 2650 number here, I call it a 65 number, is always really important. Very subtle number, but it's halfway between the 8 and the 5 here, the 500 and the 800. So these are two very important levels in the market. So 1 is the strongest number in the market, then 5, then 8. So for whatever reasons, this particular 65 number always comes into play here and is always valuable to use. I find it more important than the 600 and the 700. That number plus this 50-60% retracement level here lines up to support. So what we're looking for here is we're looking at, as you may know, the 1 and the 2 and the 3 and the 4 and the 5 coming down to here, and then we'll be looking for an A wave, a B wave and a C wave, and then down for the third wave. So when the third wave comes down, there'll also be 5 waves in this as well. So there'll be wave 1, wave 2, and then wave 3. This wave 3 here should be quite fast because it'll be the third of the third. Let's just go into the hourly chart to have a look at, pick this up here. So if you've been short from, we talked about being short here, if you're short from here, you're going to have to think about covering down here. So I'll just put this as a thing here, is we just need to talk about this here. So I mean, we're quite lucky because we've got a really nice 1 and 2 and then 5 waves down for the third and the fourth wave and the fifth. We've got a very nice structure here in this. So what I'm unsure about at this stage is that, do we have the low in here? I think that we may have another low to come in, just one more before we enter the A, the B and the C correction here. So if you've been short, then it's certainly a place where we can certainly take 50% of the profit here at this stage, and we can look to get back in over here on the 2720 number over here, roughly speaking. We'll need a setup, and then we can look to add that gain. But this wave 3 here, whoops a daisy, will be more important than wave 1. It should be longer and stronger. So we should see. That was on that angle here, so if we can just sort of grab that here to here, that was the angle that was on. This wave 3 here should display stronger moves down here. It should be sharper, so I'll just put that there just to highlight that a little bit. And yeah, so most of folks that trade these markets, the indices are really normally short-term traders, but when we get to a third wave, it's good to try and trade it out. You can trade less, and that way you can handle the the corrections on the way down. And places to add in this, if we can get a position above the 2700 area here, let's just say a position here, then we can get a position under it once it becomes the retested resistance here. Then we can also get positions under it at the 2672. This is group 2 in here, 65, 72 and 80. And yeah, so 72 we can also look to add there, and also on the midpoint, the 50 here. So they're the places that you can build in, just roughly speaking. So we've got to work out from wave 4 to wave 5 here if we've actually finished this structure here. So I'm just going into the tick chart here. Just bear with me a second. So I know we've got wave 4 up here. So we've got I mean, it looks like we've got here, it looks like we've got wave 1, wave 2, wave 3 here, wave 4 and wave 5 down to here, but it still leaves us with this one here as a wave 1 and a wave 2 here. So we're still short one wave by the looks of it. So if I go here and go down to here, so from this top, so this would be wave 1 and wave 2 here, and then 5 waves in the third wave here, and then this would be the ABC here for the 38.2% retracement level, or to the wave 4 of 1 lesser degree. So we're kind of in the right space here. But we don't really want to go any higher than this here, so we need to see this basically collapse from this point here. The only mistake that I can see that I can make in here is that the only mistake I can see here is that all of this here is actually the third wave in here, and it counts as 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 5 here. So we would actually have 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 5 here. So we can have a low in here. So then I've got to kind of look at, well, the impulse wave to the upside here, and I can see that this looks like it's in 3 waves here. And then I can't count that as an ABC, so this has got to be part of this as an A and a B and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 as C here. So this does look corrective here, but yeah, I would be too quick to judge that myself. So look, I'd say that if this, or any of these highs here got breached here, I would pretty much sort of be looking to go long here if any of these got breached as such. So yeah, I'm just a little bit, I just think watch it a little bit, and if we can see any strength into here, then say nice tested support on the 2685 on top here, then day traders can go long from this point, and then we've probably got this basically wave 1 here, wasn't it, in play here. We've either got it in here, or there's one more little move over here, and if there is one more little move over here, then it will be coming down into the 2650. It can come lower than that, but we can use that number to go long on, because if the market comes down, it will bounce off it, go through it, come down, maybe even drop down to the 30 area. But let's just see. Nah, because it would be, sorry, I'm shooting the breeze. Normally, if this is wave 1 and 2 here, and all the third wave here, and this is the fourth wave here, then we could say that wave 1 would be the same length as wave 5 here. But that wouldn't get us anywhere. That wouldn't, if that length here, even to here, that wouldn't give us a new low here. So what we do in that case is we grab the top here, the low here, and then we get the from here to here as a 61.8% mark, roughly speaking. Grab that, copy that, put that from the top here, and then we can look for the low there. So the 2650 would be about right. Okay, so we're looking for 5 waves down, so that would be 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 5 coming into this space here. So I think that's what we'll do. I'll just use that as number 2. Sorry for mucking around, but it's kind of good to know. It's good for you to know the problems that I need to try and solve each time, and sometimes you can have confidence in them and so on. That will end up going to be a wave C, but we don't need that here for a while, so we can just these buttons working, get that out of the way. So anyway, that's sort of where we are at the moment with this. It's not quite clear on the low here, but yeah, if you see strength up in here, then you know that we're in play here. Otherwise, we need to be looking to go down to the, just moving these, a bit of housework. So the other markets will be pretty much the same as well. Perhaps you've got some extra time here to work out this particular structure in here and see what you make of that. I've got it on 100 ticks here, so it's probably best if you look at it in 20 ticks. That would be easier at that point, so I'm just going to save that. And we'll have a quick look at the other 2 here. So, of course, the NASDAQ would be the same here as well. I also want to point out here, I mean, there's some stocks like Amazon that have made this B wave that's gone up through here, has taken out the top here. And in a lot of cases, it does look like 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 5 here. So even though we know we got 5 waves coming down here, on the NASDAQ, we'll be looking at the NASDAQ a bit carefully, because we may get this as an ABC to this point here, and then up from here. But otherwise, we'll be looking for 5 waves down into here before seeing a move up. So we'll be able to work this out in a couple of ways. Wave A is normally the sharpest. So if we see this move down here not being as sharp as this, or as a wave 3 coming down, it needs to be as sharp, if not sharper. But if it's a wave C, so an A and a B and a C, then it'll be on more of an angle coming down. So it'll be the A wave being sharp, the B wave, and then the C wave being like this. So if we see that personality in the structure being more of an angle there, then we know that we've possibly got that here, and we'll need to be mindful of that. But yeah, there's a few things we can do. But I just wanted to have this alternative count here, because I don't want to get sort of stuck in the headlights, so to speak. And on the hourly chart here, I think I've updated it. So yeah. So we'll look for the top of the B wave here. I did make a mistake. I was one little wave short in here at the time, but yeah, put that back on track. We've got our first 5 waves down here. So once again, I don't know if we've got one more little low to come in here before we get the ABC. So don't be too worried about sort of trying to get this right here, because what we do need to get right is the short trade coming down this side over here. That should be the gameplay here. You can get a few little trades in here, but just make sure that we're on the right track at that stage. We'll need to see the cash market opening in the next session for that. And the DJ's the same as well here in its move here as well. So once again, we'll probably get one more little move down here than the A wave, the B wave, and probably hit that supply zone there, and 5 here, the 25, 2.5, the medium level here will be a nice resistance to sell at here. So when we get this we should get a very simple, what we call zigzag here in these corrections here. So because it's a wave 2, we should get, in all of the cases, if I can draw up here, the A wave should be in 5 waves. and then the B wave here will be in 3 waves, that B wave, and that will be 5 waves in here, 3 waves in here, and 5 waves in here, and then the C wave moving to the upside here. It should be in 5 waves, and we should be able to, you should be able to work out the 5 waves in this little structure as well, which should take us, when you get to large numbers, the wave count can get skewed at large numbers, so you just need to be mindful of that. But yeah, that's what we're looking for here. And it's not like you can just trade straight up here, because you're going to get the A wave here to the B wave will be a 60-odd% retracement level. So it's too much to handle. So you can trade the 3rd wave in the A wave, and you can trade all of the C wave up here if you can work out the B wave here correctly. So that's doable, but this is the one that we want. We want that 3rd wave down through here. So that's going to be, should be strong and powerful down here. All right, thanks for tuning in. Cheers.